Let's play some hockey. Stars Blues Game 3, series tied at 1. Well, Blues wins have been nail-biting finishes.
History, Jeff. Okay, your game will be the opening game of the Nat Stadium.
Yes, what's going on? Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Hustle with your girl, Alina 7, right here at WLVS Radio, right across from Howard University. Hey, let me tell you, this is where all the action is. So, people come and go in the back of me. What can I say? It's just how we roll here. At right, just like TMZ. I was getting ready to say TMZ. Just like TMZ, we just go live and we show you all the action in the back, because I'm kind of like nosy. So I always wanted to see what's really going on behind the scenes to behind the scenes to behind the scenes. So this gives you some sort of idea, right? Yes. And we also have one of my guests coming in the door. Yes, I cannot wait to talk to Bowie State Hall of Famer, okay, Marvin Jackson. He also hosts, yes, he's right in back of me. He thinks I don't see him, but I see him. You on camera, Marvin. He is our local MJ, because I call him MJ, I always refer to him. But for a long time, we actually did a show together along with Lawrence out at WBGR, and it was called, what was the show called? Nevs Jackson Downs, Right, Primetime Sports. I'll say that, Primetime Sports. But anyway, so it was always good to talk with Marvin, especially baseball, because Marvin is a Hall of Famer. So he is going to be here. But first, so we're going to talk Nats. So I'm not going to take up too much time. But we're also going to have Keith Williams. You guys know he is Boogie Cousins' right-hand man. He is his former coach, as well as Kevin Durant's former coach. He helped them get in the league. I mean, this guy is a mover and shaker in the if you're trying to get into the NBA, he's really a mover and shaker right here in our nation's capital in D.C. So he's going to be on the show, as well as former international professional basketball player Darren McClinton. You guys know him. He's always on the show with Keith. Those are my two usual suspects. We always debate it. For some reason, I guess Darren is going to be late today. So I basically think it's because, his team didn't win. Golden State Warriors didn't win. So, and his predictions were all wrong, and mine and Keith's were right. So I don't know. Was your prediction right or wrong, Lawrence? It was wrong too. You thought it was going to go to Game 7. Okay. Well, I called it. I knew they were going to beat them. But anyway, so we're going to talk with all of them. But guess what? They are late. So you know what? Without further ado, listen, I just want to say, yes, this is my outfit. I got it from Fashion Nova. I always show what I'm wearing, because that's just how girls got to be. We got to show what we're wearing, right? I mean, just because I'm into sports don't mean that I don't care about girly stuff. I'm a tomboy, but I'm also a girl too. So I like to always show my outfit and let everybody know, yes, this piece right here is from Fashion Nova, so it's a full body piece, but I love it. So I figured what better to show my work that I do every week, which is to work my body as well as work other people out, along with following sports. But what better is to show the progress I'm making in my own line of business. So there. Anyway, all right, so when I come back, it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to actually have the guys sitting up on stage with me. I can't wait to bring them all on. So, look, Marvin's going to join us. He's going to give us his take on the NBA, but we're also going to deal with the Nats in the second half hour. So the first half hour dedicated to all NBA, and then 6:30 on up to 7, we're going to take it to the Nats and see what's going on with the Nats, okay, and what their problem is these last 2 years. I know, but anyway, we'll let the Hall of Famer talk and get his opinion. So without further ado, I'm coming right back. Don't go anywhere. Right here at Listen Vision live.com, The Hustle, each and every Tuesday. Don't forget, 6 p.m. live. It's such a fun show. We show you all the action. And I see in back of me, Keith is here. Boogie Cousins, coach, is here. Coming up. So anyway, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, okay?
The Wizards are not the same team that they were in the beginning of this season. They are definitely a force to be reckoned with. You could see the defending champions here tonight playing a back and forth game all night long. And they say that basically he influenced, Muhammad Ali. And he said, listen, what you
a second, but I just wish that you could elaborate a little bit more about what it felt like to go through that elimination game, and given that opportunity this year, how would you guys do it differently? And if you both could answer the question, I'd appreciate it.
Well, differently is coming into this season without having knee surgeries and everybody being healthy. That's the key for our team. Hurt.
He left 93 seconds into the first quarter. He collided with a teammate and hurt his left knee. Don't know what's going to happen for the future with the playoffs, but anyway, Kevin Durant never returned back to the game.
Hey everybody, I'm Alina Neves, courtside at Capital One Arena, where the Washington Wizards, who are 9-5, take on the Miami Heat, who are 6-8. Now, as you know, the Washington Wizards beat the Heat in Miami, so tonight's going to definitely be a revenge for the Miami Heat. And the big scorer tonight was Bradley Beal with 24 points and 8 assists, as well as Otto Porter. Well, he had 23 points. He was just extraordinary tonight, very clutch. And Thomas Satoransky, who's in for John Wall, he's still out dealing with his knee. Well, he had 10 assists. He is definitely stepping up as their starting point guard. Anyway, a great win. Talked to Scott Brooks. He said tonight the game plan was just basically to step up defensively and to make the 76ers make mistakes. And that's exactly what the Washington Wizards did tonight. A great game and a much needed win for them, especially in this series. They tied up 2 apiece now with the 76ers. Important game as they approach playoffs and playoff seeding. Washington goes down to Cleveland in their first game against the NBA champions at home, 95-104. John Wall finished up with 28 points while Markieff Morris had 20 points. It was a great night for the Wizards, despite the fact that they were without their shooting guard. Bradley Beal had injured his hamstring in the game against Boston. He had to sit this one out. A tough one, but one that the Wizards could definitely build momentum from, as well as be proud of. And on a side note, LeBron James, he finishes up with 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists, as well as he surpassed Kobe Bryant's record of being the youngest player to reach the 27,000 point milestone. If you're into tennis, then the Junior Tennis Championship Center is the place to be today. Recently named the title sponsor for this premier event, Prince George's County will host top-ranked juniors from around the world competing in this year's 3rd annual International Tennis Federation's Hardcourt Junior Tournament right here on the campus of JTCC. Now, they kicked off today's festivities with a very special luncheon, which featured some local government officials, but one person in attendance today was a local teenager who just happens to be the #1 junior in the world.
This tournament represents a lot of the things that...
Hey everybody, it's me. Yes, and I'm here with a very good friend, longtime friend, and all that you could. I mean, Marvin does everything in our nation's capital. He hosts Around the Diamond. That still goes on, right? Yes. Around the Diamond. Love that show. Can you hear me? Okay. Sorry, wasn't talking into my mic. But anyway, so he hosts Around the Diamond, and then what's the other one you host? And Sideline Report. Yep.
And Metro Scene.
Oh, and Metro Scene too. Hello. See, I told you that. He's all over the place. Anyway, but he's a Hall of Famer. At the end of the day, a great and wonderful baseball player back in the day.
Yeah, let's Back in the day.
Back in the day, but we
I
just.
don't know if I could get the first right now.
But he's also a center fielder too, so we have to remember that too, right?
I ran into one of my old coaches. He said, "You look like you can still hit it, but somebody will probably have to run for you."
Really? Oh my God! So it's like the entire gang back, and of course you see Lawrence right there on the screen. Lawrence, all three of us kind of. We're at Nats Park hanging out.
Oh, Lawrence,
right? That was a fun. Look, he's right there. See, Lawrence got his own little box right there. So, so what's going on? I mean, it's kind of cool to have Marvin back, right? It's kind of like old times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said that we were going to deal with the playoffs, which we are, but my usual suspects are late. I thought it just was going to be Darren because I thought that Darren did not want to deal with his bad predictions. I mean, we all had to come to Jesus because I called Milwaukee. Who did you call, by the way? Who'd you think? You knew Toronto from the beginning of the playoffs?
Because of Kawhi Leonard.
But did you call that in the very beginning?
Those guys how to win. I called it with about 10 seconds left. When I called.
10 seconds. Oh my God. No, Marvin, you're as bad as me. But you know what? You make a valid point, though. Mm-hmm. That's a very good point. He taught them how to win.
Mm-hmm. That's really big.
That's huge, yeah.
And they watched him, I'm sure. He's a good example on the court because he's all business, all professional. Yep. He doesn't celebrate until it's over.
Yep.
He actually is a good example for those guys.
He's a wonderful example, and he doesn't ever get like too mad or too upset.
Never. It's always medium.
It's always
never
there. He
and
never
that's
gets
what you
too
need
upset
when you're
or
in
too
championships.
Right.
I think, especially in championships, that's what you need.
Wow, that's a very very good point because I think
if
you're
you
right.
look at a lot of the other teams that have great talent,
yes,
their emotions are up here or down here or whatever all the time.
Right.
But Kawhi is just like that.
Yeah.
And you need that in tough situations and championships.
Yeah.
That's when you need it.
I was reading his story. I didn't know this about him, but he was, he grew up in Compton.
Yeah.
California.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. I knew he was from California, but I didn't know where. And his father had a car wash in Compton and was going to one of his basketball games in 2008, I think. And got, I guess, held up or something, but he was murdered. Yeah, he got murdered right there at his car wash.
A lot of people don't know that story.
No.
So, a lot of people say, well, why does he act like that? A lot of it had to do with how he came up and then what happened with his dad.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, so some of our guests are rolling in. This, is Coach Keith Williams. That's Boogie Cousins' advisor. Meet Marvin Jackson, Hall of Famer. We got the All-Stars in the house. Darren will be here showing up. He said he's going to be late because he already said he's got to deal with his predictions.
He do. He gonna wear sunglasses. He's gonna have sunglasses on.
We're wrong, So, but we were talking about. Marvin makes a really good point, Keith, and that is that Kawhi taught Toronto basically. He brought his winning spirit, and he showed them how to win. Mm-hmm. And what do you think? Because I know you predicted Toronto. But you predicted Toronto from where? Mm-hmm. The second round? Or did you think that they were going to beat Milwaukee?
Yes, because Milwaukee was too young to win.
Mm-hmm. Really?
But I think Kawhi's no-nonsense approach is refreshing because, like I said, the NBA is full of BS. It's a lot of drama, always.
Man knows what he's talking about.
And it was refreshing for him to do it that way, for him to make mostly twos, to not be three crazy. I think he took a slight shot at Steph Curry by saying, I don't play hero ball. I just play to win. Even if I'm not making my shot, I'm going to make the right play. I'm going to pass to the open man. So I think it was good. I hope that he stays Because if he joins one of them teams, then it's more BS. I mean, you look at what's going on with Houston and Chris Paul and
See, he
Harden.
made an impression on those guys at Toronto. I don't know if he could do that in some other
I think
cities,
he
you know.
would. I think
he would?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think he's that type of personality. The fact he's strong and quiet, not just quiet.
Yeah.
What about the Clippers? I think, with Patrick Beverly there playing defense, don't you
The
think
Clippers
that if he
can't
goes to
win though.
Clippers-
I think
Really?
where
With
he
Lou
is.
Williams?
I'm talking about winning a championship. That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
With Kawhi at this point.
Okay.
I think Toronto's ready made to maybe run off one or two more if they can keep people. And there's a lot of things that got to fall into place. With Gasol, he would have to take a pay cut. They got to pay Van Fleet. But all in all, they got a team. The thing about the other teams, like i.e. Houston, is as soon as you don't win, everybody hates each other. Now we find out they didn't talk to each other for 2 months. Harden and Chris Paul.
Harden and Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
2 months?
Oh, it's real bad.
Yeah. So
Really?
again, like Toronto showed that you can have guys that are all pretty much no nonsense, and they wanted to win. Everybody was professional. They did what they had to do to win. I mean, it's not per se DeRozan's fault that they couldn't win. It's just that him and Kyle Lowry couldn't be your two best players. Those two couldn't be your two best players and win a championship.
So you think they can hold on to Gasol? Because I hear the Lakers might be after him.
I don't see
But
how.
I don't know
because
what-
Well, he
Toronto-
would still have to take a pay cut.
For sure.
Because
But
even
if-
they would have to
but
cut his pay
With
cut.
LeBron,
but
you got
Toronto is
drama,
over
though.
luxury tax.
Do you want that
Remember?
drama that LeBron's going to bring?
Yeah.
When LeBron loses, he is crying. He is crying like a baby.
Yeah.
So stay at Toronto.
Yeah, if I
You
were
don't
him,
have to
I
deal
would
with any
stay.
of that. Everybody's kind of stays in their
As long
lane.
as he
They got-
doesn't mind the cold weather.
For that money,
yeah.
for that
But they're
money,
over-
they got
yeah.
the best of coats. And
Yeah. But they're over their luxury tax. You know that, right?
when you win, that normally happens.
Yeah.
But they
So-
made more than enough money.
Yeah. Huh? Ooh, somebody called.
Make sure the
Really?
lights off.
You think so?
Yeah, winning
Okay.
teams always over the cap. Cleveland was way over to win it.
Right.
Golden State's gonna be way over it. They're gonna re-sign. Well, at this point, they gotta try to re-sign Clay and KD, even though they probably won't play.
Okay. Well, maybe you're right. I don't know, because I was reading, everybody's calling me now. And I'm
Popular
like,
person.
is this the show, or are
You're
you
a
calling
star.
me because,
Maybe
No, but
maybe Toronto or the Lakers. Maybe the Lakers especially. They call them.
But, I was reading today, I wrote some things down today that they were, where is it? Right over here, that they were over. So Kawhi is expected to opt out. That's what I was seeing out of his $21 million
Yeah, because he could get
contract,
more
right?
money. Yeah.
Right.
Well-
And then is Danny Green, Marc Gasol, Jeremy Lin are all free agents. So you think they could hang on to any, even though Jeremy
You don't
Lin
need
didn't
Jeremy
play.
You don't
Lin.
really need him. Yeah.
Right. You don't really.
At this
because he
point,
didn't play,
Gasol,
but-
is it money or is it trying to get another title?
Yeah.
And
I
then
mean-
there's no first round pick for them with the trade for Kawhi.
That's normally what happens.
Yeah. And the teams get better the next year. And they also have film now. They have, you know what I mean? We always talked about that, Marvin, how teams have video. They know how to defend a little bit better. That
Yeah,
was all
but-
new to them
but
with
the-
Kawhi.
but
Toronto
difference was
plays
Kawhi.
different.
It doesn't matter.
Toronto plays different though.
Yeah.
Everybody else was shooting the 3, no matter what. You can catch up to that, but Toronto's one of the few teams that they win with 2s.
Yeah.
Yeah, they win with 2s. That's so true. Marvin, what do you think Golden State did wrong? Besides the fact that, they had all the injured players. But I'm just saying, it didn't seem like they made an adjustment enough.
They had some problems on defense too. A lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
They had some problems on defense. People were scoring over 100 points on them quite often in the playoffs. So
Right, right.
I think a lot of their problems could be defense as well. Because, I love Steph, but he never
gets
can
beat.
stay in front of people. I mean, now that might be his little thing, what he tries to do, but
Yes.
Sometimes you gotta get in front of people.
He doesn't. I know.
So,
Well,
What you think,
He's
Keith?
never played defense.
he's never
but
played it.
I think in this day and time, 4 years is about a limit to how long you can keep those type teams together.
That's what I'm thinking too. It's just
Believe
time just ran
me,
out.
Golden
Time
State.
just ran out
Golden
on
State
them.
had their issues too. Don't let it. Don't let it fake you out.
But don't you think they could get a better bench too? I think there's some guys on their bench that didn't come.
Livingston?
Well, again, you're paying Draymond a lot.
Come on,
you're
Darren.
Paying Clay a lot.
Darren is here.
You're
McClinton.
paying,
Yes, come on in.
Steph a lot.
Join the party,
So
Darren.
you gotta kind of pay what you can get.
Yeah.
Come over. Join the party. That's Darren. That's Marvin Jackson. Darren played international ball. You got to move over a little bit, Keith, to fit Darren, I think, in the frame. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good.
incognito.
That's good. You incognito.
I'm incognito.
Are you hiding because of your
Hide
prediction?
all my picks
You need a hood on, doesn't you?
have gone awry.
He got his hat on and his glasses.
Toronto, the real guru is spoken.
Oh my goodness.
All you can do is bow down, brother. It's okay though. You my little brother. I love you.
And I understand.
Sometimes you gotta
Golden
go with
State.
the old Wiley
Ego,
vet.
we need a fan on. It's warm in here. We need some fans or something. I'm just saying. Yeah, so we forgive you though, Darren.
It's been a rough week and a half, couple weeks for me. It's been rough.
Has it been really?
Yeah.
People been lighting you up, huh? About your prediction. Really?
I lost a lot of wings, a lot of push-ups, a lot of sprints.
Have you had to do that?
Yeah.
No
and a little
way.
bit more too. But
What? Oh,
you know,
my
hat
goodness.
off the Kawhi and the boys, you know, they
pulled through.
They
They
did.
pulled through.
They did.
Yeah. You know, I want to tell you something that Marvin made a point about, and I thought it was pretty good, is that Kawhi taught Toronto how to win. He showed them how to win by his leadership and by him stepping up and never giving up and maintaining a very professional exterior. So what do you think the Golden State Warriors couldn't do besides the injuries? I understand that. And I actually take out game 6 because game 6, I don't know what team would have won had you lost their second best shooter on the team, which was Klay Thompson. I mean, that was such a blow right there.
Remember though, injuries are a part of the game, and it's the stress of the game that causes injuries. The game, you can't just say he got injured. It was the game. He had to run out. He had to jump as high as he could. He had to land. All this was part of the game. The stress of the game caused the injury. It's part of the game.
Oh, the stress of the
and not
the game.
having people to come in and
And
replace you
relieve.
when you're tired.
They've been playing like that all year, though.
And but see, that it came up at the end. They couldn't
Part of
do
the
it all
game.
way.
Part of the game.
So,
Yeah, that's a very good point. So what do you say, Darren?
Well, first I want to piggyback on what Keith just said about it being part of the game. Even Klay Thompson's injury happened because he had to extend because Danny Green didn't give up on the play.
Sure did.
And he had a breakaway.
Defense.
It was defense, and they,
Defense,
you know,
yeah.
that's that blue collar work that Kawhi
could've
brings to
easily
that Toronto mob, where everybody is playing hard. I was saying earlier in a couple shows ago, and I was saying people were playing a little bit out of character, but they adapted his character. So I can't say that anymore, especially because they lost. But I can't say that about a guy like Van Vliet. He stepped up big time, and
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
he was playing hard. And that's the thing. When you play hard and you get into a rhythm,
Yes.
they're all professional players, you know. So when you get into a rhythm and you're playing hard and you're playing harder than your opponent, or you're giving more of yourself than your opponent is giving of himself, a lot of times you'll come out on top. You know, it kind of evens the playing field.
Right.
You know, you've got your superstars, but then everybody else is professionals. They're
Right.
professionals. They can play, and
Right.
a lot of times it's the grit and the grind
Right.
that gets the job done. And that's
Right.
that's what Kawhi brings. He said in the interview, I'm not about all the glitz and glamour. I'm not about all the accolades.
Just wanna win.
Just want to win.
want to win. So, had Clay made that last shot, what do you think that would have done? Because that would have basically solidified that game, right?
You mean
It's
Steph?
Steph, not
Well,
Clay.
well,
Steph.
first of all, it was a very well run play, but I would have run that play if we were down 2.
You
But
would have.
But we're only down 1.
Right.
I would, and we're in the bonus.
That's what I'm
I would try to
saying.
get something, especially.
2.
He had enough time. Get Steph coming off to the ball and get him something going downhill, going to the basket because they can't touch.
Right.
And it's in the Oracle, last game in the Oracle, and you want to put the referees in a situation to where they either have to make a call or they have to let it go. And Steph's crafty enough to get to the basket and make something happen. I
Right.
did not like that fadeaway in that situation.
Right.
But kudos to Toronto's defense as well.
Right.
They forced him into that shot.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know, he's
I'm
quiet,
sure he's
right?
been bragging the whole time.
for the record, though,
But that wing 3 is hard to make that.
If he would have made that, and we've
That's
seen
hard
Steph
shot.
make that.
Yeah.
but not in that situation. He's
Right.
0 for 8.
I don't know if
He's 0 for 8.
He's 0 for 8.
Under
The
2
pressure.
minutes.
Okay.
The pressure
Okay.
is on
Seen
him.
him do it.
Right?
Okay.
0 for 8.
I mean-
he never makes that shot.
He never makes that
for
shot.
Winfrey.
Never makes that shot.
He
Yeah.
always seems to have problem with coming off of a curl like that on a wing, trying to
But-
make a
but to
wing
answer-
3 play. I mean, it's just difficult.
Elaine, to answer your original question,
Yes.
if he would have made that shot, it would have just delayed the inevitable.
Yeah.
It
would've
would have
gone-
delayed the inevitable.
Yeah,
Okay.
it would have gone back to Toronto,
Toronto would've
and they would have been without 2 of the big 3.
And it probably would have been blowout.
And it would have been
probably
a
would've
blowout.
blowout.
Yeah.
Drake would have just been
Amped up.
at, at the game instead of in Jurassic Park with his boys.
Yes, he probably would have. I think so.
Well, most definitely he would
But-
have.
But do you blame at all Steve Kerr at all in this, or the Golden State Warriors organization at all for some of these injuries? Maybe they didn't take people out in enough time. Maybe they were putting too much pressure on Clay and Steph. I mean, to just win everything for them.
Well, that's hard
Kevin
to say.
Durant. I mean,
You've got 3 of the best players in the world on your team, and they're competitors, big time competitors.
They want to play.
They want to play.
Right.
And it showed Klay Thompson tore his ACL, and he was still trying to. He didn't want to leave he came back to shoot the free throws because the rule
Just in
states
case, so he could stay in the game.
So
exactly.
if he was coming
If
back.
he was okay.
But he was done.
Right. But we saw that Steph also had 47 points, and he still wasn't able to win that. I
Yeah.
don't think they won that game, the game he scored 47 points.
No.
That didn't help them to win.
No.
And that was when I think Clay just couldn't get a shot. I mean, he wasn't playing as good. I think on that particular game, I can't remember what Clay's numbers were.
Clay played good pretty much every night.
Yeah.
He was the rock, really. Steph was kind of up and down. He was the rock. He was the most solid guy.
The
Really?
Golden State is predicated on their system, the way they move the basketball,
Yes.
and their superstars. So,
gotta
they
live and die
can
with 'em.
you can live and die with them, and 1 or 2 of them can be off, and sometimes you can still get it done.
Yeah.
But with
yeah.
that 2 guys being down, coupled
Yeah.
with the way Toronto was playing,
Right.
they weren't going to be denied. So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
that would have been tough for Steph, even
Yeah.
with 47 points. It'd have
Yeah.
been tough for him.
Yeah. I kind of feel like it was like, and I don't mean to bring spirituality into this, but I'm just got to say, I feel like God was like, okay, I'm gonna take Kevin Durant out of the mix. Okay, we're going to have a level playing field game. Well, y'all are still playing good? Okay.
Wait, I'm
going to take...
They actually
about
weren't,
game
though.
6?
They actually
For
weren't,
stats.
The stats, yeah.
Thompson had 30 points when we went out.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
30
Thompson
when
had
y'all
30.
always
Okay.
played.
Curry only had 21.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it was like Looney, got the chest injury.
Part of the game, though.
Part of the game. I get that. But
Kawhi,
then it was like
everybody. Toronto was hurt too. They
Quite
just ain't
often,
crying
yeah.
about it. They
Right.
ain't
They
speaking
never-
on it.
Steph hurt his finger, right? Or 2 fingers. I think he hurt his fingers. Then Clay really went out. And I was like, oh, that's the game right there. When that happened. I mean,
Toronto was going to win.
they're
But y'all-
just not going to win.
Don't
this,
forget-
This is not their victory.
Don't forget, Iggy was hobbled too.
Yeah, it's part, but it's part of the game.
Iguodala was kind of rough too. Yeah, I know he was hurt, but he was stepping up though. He made clutch shots though. I've got to
Keith
say that
is
about.
not
And
going
I
to
don't.
let us make one excuse. He's not going to.
I don't. But I don't know if Iguodala is just open when he makes those
He's
shots because
supposed to be
nobody
open.
is checking.
He's supposed
for
to be
him,
open.
You know.
He's
That's the
the one
strategy.
that was open the most.
That's the
He
strategy.
was open the most, right? Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, oh my goodness. But anyway, we could go on and on. Look, guys, I just want to get to real quick just to get your opinion, and then we're going to turn to some of the Nats stuff too. You guys are involved in baseball, right? We're going to talk with Marvin. And Marvin is a Hall of Famer. I don't know if you guys know that. From Bowie State, he played baseball back in the day.
Back in the day. That's all
right.
He's built like he's built like a running back, but he was center fielder. I don't know if you know this, but center fielders and some running backs almost look the same.
Oh yeah, Kirby Puckett.
Kirby Puckett, yes, Kirby
Now,
Puckett. That's a
look
great
at
example.
Kyler Murray.
Oh yes, look at him. Oh my God, he's
Who I
built
think
too.
He would have been a star in baseball.
Really, you
I
think
don't
so?
know if he's
Had he
gonna
gone
be-
the baseball
I don't think
route?
He's going to be a star in the NFL.
Really?
Time will reveal.
What?
I think he would have been a great leadoff man. In
Oh,
baseball.
leadoff in baseball.
I think I really
He loved.
think
I guess he
would've
loved football more than he loved baseball.
been- Yeah. Well, it's
I'm not-
more celebrity. It's more
Yeah.
television.
Yeah.
It's more stardom. There, so,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's just talk real quick about this huge acquisition or the huge trade, I should say, with the Lakers and obviously trading for Anthony Davis and then trading off Lonzo Ball, Brandon Marshall, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, and what was the
3 picks.
3 picks, right? 3 first-round picks. Is that it? Right.
3 first-round picks, including number 4.
This year, including number 4. So, what's going to be left? Kuzma's left. Rondo's left. Do they have a bench? Who do they need at the Lakers now? And can they afford to get anyone?
Before we get into who they are going to acquire next,
Right.
it was very important that they kept Kuzma though. That was a good
Because you
keep.
think Kuzma's going to be a star.
I like Kuzma. I like his
He
upside.
can go good with those 2 guys. For sure.
He can go good. What you think, Marvin?
Yeah, I think so too, and I don't think that he'll have so much pressure on him to be good. So he'll learn from them. He'll learn.
He'll learn
the
from
stars.
LeBron
Yeah.
and Anthony Davis if he
So,
ever
and
gets the ball.
Yeah.
No, he'll get it.
He's gonna get the ball
get it.
now.
He's gonna get
get it.
Will he ever get the? What you think, Lawrence?
think
Will he ever
he'll
get
get
the
it.
ball? I don't know.
Yeah, LeBron likes to.
No, he'll get it.
And he can play, but they just have to be patient.
His
with him. Those
energy
guys,
is going on.
Yeah.
His energy,
His
really.
youth and energy. He'll do
Okay,
well. Yeah.
but who else? Who else do the
I
Lakers
think they
have?
use another big guy because LeBron and AD, they're not gonna be up. They're
Playing
not gonna be under the basket
all the time.
I really don't see that.
You think they're gonna need another
they need
big?
a guy down there, like a real tough guy.
So you
under the
think?
basket. That's why I was thinking Gasol.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Okay.
To that point, it depends what style of play that they commit to playing. If they, everybody's playing small ball, and
Yeah, they got big guys playing small ball.
Oh, I
it-
know. Shoot from three, from all kinds of stuff.
people are yet to realize that Anthony Davis is an all NBA defensive player as well. You know, he can step out and guard perimeter guys. He's a guy that grew from 6'1" to 6 whatever he is now, 6'10", you know, in a matter of a few years. So he's very comfortable on the perimeter, if need be, offensively and defensively. So and LeBron sometimes when you go small ball, he can play the 5, you know, with his strength. But to your point, you know, when it comes playoff time and the game slows up a little bit, yeah, they can use a reinforcement down there. But I think the next thing that they need to go get is a point guard.
Is a point guard. Yeah, Rajon can't do it.
And they need a shooter.
And a shooting guard.
They need a shooter.
Yeah. What you think, Keith? You don't like the trade.
I don't.
Maybe they need Boogie. Maybe they need Boogie.
I'm not so sure that this trade is going, and Lakers being the champs in everybody's mind already. I'm not sure it's going to happen.
Next year.
I think at the end of the day, you got to be a team. And this is going to be a collection of people thrown together. And no matter what, LeBron's a diva. And so anybody that's not flying the way he's flying, it's going to be a problem.
Okay.
And they need a point guard, but what type of point guard? Because LeBron likes to hold the ball.
He likes
He
to hold
does.
the ball.
And
See, that's what my
and
point was.
he
gonna
doesn't.
be.
Yeah,
He
he
doesn't
does.
want to play that fast. He's older. He's old. He's slipping. And so, like to his point, Darren's point, what style of play are they going to play?
This is year what for LeBron? 16 or 17? 17.
And then how does
17.
Anthony Davis fit in if he's still trying to be the best player in the league? Like how does it work? You know, I know they signed. You know, they all part of the same agency and what have you. But once you get on them teams, it's different. It's different. And
Is LeBron ready to pass the torch?
I don't think he is.
No.
And so therein lies the problem. So I don't pick them to win it this year. That's why I say if Kawhi stays, I think
Toronto will
is
probably
in
win
position to
it.
win
Really,
it
yeah.
again.
And
If
Golden
they can
State
keep it
is
together.
not.
They can keep it together.
Golden State's not. They're out of it. They're not a factor.
Yeah.
Okay. So where's Boogie gonna go? Since we have you here, we can't let you go and just be like, don't ask you any questions
That's
about
a great
Boogie,
question, and I wish I had a great answer for it, but I don't.
He's not the kind of center the Lakers would be looking for, is he?
I mean, he can play with anybody, but I think for him, it's about he took a big pay cut.
Right.
For him, it's about trying to get some of that money back. I would hope that he could get 15 to 20 million on a 1-year deal, maybe. On a winning team, but it doesn't have to be the team that wins it. So we're not sure.
You're not sure.
I can tell
Okay.
you probably better in another week or so.
Okay. So have you had a chance to really talk with him since the Raptors won?
Not about free agency, but we talk.
Yeah. How are his spirits
He's
right
good.
now?
He got a chance to be on the big stage, and he wants to be healthy. And if he's back on that stage, you feel like he can be dominant.
Yes.
But he's good. I think he understands the business. He's a veteran now. And
Yeah.
wants
Is he
to be in the
working?
right place.
How about his health? Is he getting more
Well,
lift
he'll have an
or
opportunity to get fully healthy.
fully healed over the summer? I see.
Elena, real quick, a lot of people don't realize how good it feels and how important it is for a player, especially of his stature, to play on a winning team. You know, to win more games than you lose, rather than be on the losing end more often, and then to make it all the way to the finals. You know, that's a really good feeling. You know, even the best of the best, when they're playing on losing teams year after year.
Wow.
You know, it
Drag you down.
it does
gonna
it does
drag
something to
you
your
down.
psyche. So
yeah.
like he said, I think that was really, really good for him, and his push as he gets back healthy.
Yeah. Wow. That's a very
All the
good
teams
point.
listening, they should take him, though. I think New York's not going to get anybody. They should take a run with him. But we'll see.
New York.
Yeah.
Knicks.
Yeah, they should
Well,
run
we
at him.
need a team. We need a GM.
We won't talk about the Wizards.
We
I
need
heard,
look.
did you hear about the somebody was
Fourth
talking
pick
about a
for
trade
Bill?
with
They needed that bill go. They do.
trade Beal to
Woods
the
need to blow it
Pelicans
up
for the number
and
4
start
pick.
again.
That's what I said. Yeah, that's what I
You agree with that?
Yeah,
Because you love Beal.
yeah.
I mean-
No, I do love Beal, but I don't think that they can win. I don't think that they have, and I think to hold Beal up in his career, by the time really, to me, the Wizards get to being competitive, even in the playoffs, Beal will be probably a bit too old. So I think if Beal really wants to make an impact with his career, he needs to go too. I don't think it's going to happen with the Wizards anytime soon.
He may want to go.
Yeah.
He may want
I think
to.
we're
Like
still
you said,
putting a
people
lot of.
want to play with a winner sometimes.
No
in their
question.
career.
He's in
But
the
y'all,
league.
Nobody wants to be on.
Yeah.
We
the
forget
He's
we
an
still,
all-star. He's ready to do something.
we still need to bring a decision maker in here.
I mean,
You know,
yeah, they're
So-
waiting on
Tommy
Ujiri.
Shepard.
I don't think
Tommy
Masai.
Shepard will get
I
it.
don't think they're
Tommy
gonna get him.
Shepard will
Do you
get
think
it.
they-
They're not going to get
not Toronto's GM.
Ujiri. No.
Tommy Shepard will get it. I'm going on record.
Yeah.
Tommy
Tommy
Shepard
Shepard.
will get it.
Tommy Shepard will probably
Okay.
get the job.
He
So,
will get it.
oh well.
How do you think
Anyway,
he will
guys,
do?
that's
Well, he got to blow it up. So
yeah.
he
He
gotta
even
start
if
all
any
over.
yeah.
Whoever gets it.
So don't you think that's why they should have somebody now who can do
Yeah,
it
but I
with
don't
the
know if
draft coming
Shepard,
up? I mean,
if Shepard is distant enough from Leonsis and the whole Monumental Sports organization to walk away from Beal to really do what this team needs. I don't know, because he's kind of he was there when, their former GM. He's been with him,
so who's going to make the decision?
somebody's
Right,
got to make the
about this.
decision. Otherwise, they don't
Tommy-
have a
right
team.
now, Tommy will still be making
He'll
it.
be the guy.
Yeah. He'll be the interim guy. So, but anyway, we want to get to the Nats because I have invited MJ to my show, and I really want to get in the Nats as much as I can, even though we've been having so much fun with the guys talking about the NBA. I mean, we could be here all the time. So, but once the teams get finalized, I want you guys to come back sometime in the summer. Once the teams all get their picks and everything is all together, you guys got to come back and
be
we'll
fun.
talk about the trades
Absolutely.
and stuff like that. But we want to talk about the Nats. I know you guys know about the Nats too. But our insider to the insider to the insider, yes, our
Yeah,
MVP.
but I don't have my man anymore, Dusty. Dusty.
Dusty.
That was
That
your
was my
insider.
insider.
That
I don't have him anymore.
I know. I mean, we love Dusty. A lot of people, I go way back with Dusty as well. Known him for a while. So, Dusty was our main man. We went,
telling you.
Dusty invited MJ and I to his office. Not that many people get invited to a manager's office in the ballpark. And he invited us. Remember, we did a sit-down interview with him. So what do you think? Do you think the cloud is still over the Nats, Marvin? Or is Davey kind of coming around with the fans here? Because I don't see them improving. They're still like a below 500 team even now, even though they've had some great wins on the road in the last
Still early, though.
few weeks. It's
early.
still early.
Like you
Still early.
said,
Got
you know our good friend Jimmy Williams.
Yes, Jimmy Williams.
Now Jimmy, great baseball guy, played
Mm-hmm.
a lot of professional ball. Jimmy feels that it's still time.
Yeah, I do too.
He
Really?
thinks that they may come around.
They
second
may
half
come
of the
around
season.
even now,
Yeah.
even though the Atlanta Braves to me
But
went
the
from
Braves
bad
are taking
to
off,
great.
in my opinion. I think they are
They're
the
number
team.
one in this
I
division.
think they're going to be number one for a few years in the NL East.
They are
I
great.
really think so.
They are at the top right now. I mean, everybody's having trouble. Even Philly lost. Didn't Philly lose to them 150,
Yeah.
1-15 or something like that?
Yeah, Phillies I guess some of their weaknesses are showing now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Atlanta is starting to get better and better as the season goes on,
Right.
like they did last year.
Yeah.
So
And the Marlins obviously are
the
still
Marlins,
struggling.
they're definitely
I don't know what
struggling.
Derek Jeter's doing down
they're
there,
good
but
for
I,
us. They're good for the Nationals. That's a
Somebody
team you
do
can.
bad.
But now the
You
big
beat up on
deal.
them every time.
Now
They're showing-
what Davey needs
They
to
get
tell
their
these
confidence
guys though
back.
is these
Yeah.
next 7 games with
Okay.
the Phillies and Atlanta.
Yes.
They are like so important because it's just before All-Star break, all that. If they can go out and
500
win 5 of those
A
games,
little bit over 5. Okay.
you know, I think if they win about 5 of those games, they're definitely in it for sure. But if they win maybe 2 or 3 of those games,
Yeah.
then they might want to start blowing things up
really
because
You
it'll
think-
show that they're just
Yeah.
not the caliber teams that.
How long do you think Davey will last here? Do you think this is his last year? If we don't
yeah,
make
if
the
they blow
playoffs,
it up, this is his last year.
this is last year.
If they
Okay.
blow it up.
Even though they
He's
gave
had
him
a
3
million
years.
jobs, though.
Yes.
Like, how many teams has he been a manager of? Since he's a baseball guy.
No, he hasn't been a manager. He's
Well,
been
he's been a part, yeah.
Bench.
he's been a bench coach.
Well,
Bench
he's
coach.
been
He's
there.
been a
For-
dugout coach
for
you
Chicago.
know, yeah.
Yeah,
And
but he's been a
I
lot
don't
of
think he
places, and
did
he's been a
lot.
player for
When
a lot
he
of
was with the
teams.
Cubs, he didn't do a lot. I think
No.
that manager is so strong up there. He did everything.
Oh
So,
yes,
yeah.
Madden
I don't think he did much.
Yeah, no, he doesn't play up there. He
What
didn't
is-
do that much because you
What is
could
in
tell.
that style though? Like, I don't watch a lot of baseball, so I won't see him live. But in watching it, what is their style?
Well, it's
We going for
supposed to
the
be.
long ball?
It was
We
supposed to
trying
be long ball.
Yeah, or we just
and then
trying
they
to get on
lose
base?
one of their long ball hitters. But even when he was here, and he's doing it still in Philly, he gets booed up there. He strikes
Talking
out a
about
lot.
Bryce Harper.
They have a lot of guys that strike out. Bryce Harper, yeah. And
Yeah,
so,
Bryce Harper.
They still have that situation where they're looking for the fences way too much to be.
Man,
I've been
Bryce
saying
been-
this.
Is
I've
he-
been
Is,
saying this
is the
for
name
several
Bryce Harper a
years.
cuss word around these parts nowadays? He didn't
What
want to
was
say
that?
his
Which
name.
word?
I was gonna say, is the name Bryce,
Bryce
Harper
Harper.
a
Oh,
curse
my
word
gosh, yeah, man.
But this is the thing though.
around these parts?
Everybody's on him because of the money, though. Like,
Yeah.
baseball, it doesn't always happen right away. The contracts are crazy, but it takes time. It takes
But
time.
but the Nats offered him a contract that was close to the one he got with Phillies way earlier in the season, and then his agent pulled back. Boris pulled back and was like, "Oh no, we can get better. Then he had to kind of pull back because Bryce wasn't getting anybody to offer him because he really didn't have that good of a year, and he hasn't had as good of a season since around his
it was
rookie
a few
or
years ago.
few
Yeah.
years ago. Yeah,
And
really hasn't
remember
done
now,
well.
in Philly. He's not the man. There's
Well,
other guys
No.
that are really
Right.
hitting the ball and really scoring and
Yeah.
knocking people in. So it's not Bryce Harper that's getting it done.
But this is the thing, though. In baseball, situational like basketball, are the hitters around him? Do they put him in the best position?
Yes, he's had situations
Okay.
where people have been on base.
Okay, we need
and that's
people
why
on
he's
base.
getting
We-
booed
yeah, we
because
need runners.
he's
We
the
need
guy
people-
that
Strikes
they're
out.
putting him
Yeah.
in that third and fourth spot
Okay.
because the guys 1 and 2s are getting on and he's striking out.
And he's
And
striking
so
out.
people are booing,
'Cause all that
and then
plays a
the
part.
people behind him
Yes.
are getting the runs better than not
Oh,
Bryce.
okay.
Yeah.
I have a
So
question.
that guy Reese, he's really getting a lot of
He's really
RBIs.
okay.
I have a question about the Nats. Earlier on in the season, I think there was a problem with the closers, right? The
Well,
starters were doing
The
with it.
closer's been okay. That's
Lately?
Early in the year.
Doolittle. Doolittle's been always okay.
Okay,
All
okay.
year, basically.
Yeah.
It hasn't been the greatest year for him, but he's pretty solid. A lot of people want him, actually. If they blow up things, he's one of the people that will probably be traded.
Okay.
A lot of people
Yeah.
want Doolittle.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
people that are trying to
Yeah.
get into the playoffs or whatever. But there are long relievers and middle relievers.
Oh, okay.
That's where their problem
That's
is.
where they're-
so many
okay.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what they will
So the
probably.
bullpen is weak.
So that's what they
Yes.
will probably trade for too.
My bad. So it's not the closer. It's,
It's
the
not the closer.
it's
And it's
from
not the
6 to
starter.
It's the
6
starters.
inning to 9.
They got some Hall of Fame
It's-
starters.
Exactly. Yeah.
Six-
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
crazy,
6 to
man.
8.
Because they've
6
given
to 8.
6 to 8
Six
innings.
6 to 8 is when they
I
lose
would
games.
like to see them do it.
I'm about to say,
but
the
you
stars
know,
might
in
need to take
today's
it a little
baseball, they
later.
won't do it. I
Okay.
just don't
Which
understand
one?
it.
What was it?
The starters are
Go a
going
little
6,
later,
7
yeah.
innings,
Go a
and
little later.
go a little
Yeah.
longer. man.
Go
I mean,
deeper. Go
you know,
deeper. Yeah.
Yeah, sir.
Old school.
Yeah.
I grew up
The
on
Yankees
complete
got-
games.
I mean,
You see
you
the
know.
I grew up
Yankee
on-
guy went 9 innings. last
Complete
night. Shut
games.
up.
Yeah.
You know, and they said,
got a
well, he
rhythm.
was over 100 pitches, but he said, give me one more. And,
So
he
they're
went on.
really concentrating on that pitch count, huh?
Yeah.
For the longevity of
Yeah.
the.
Because they got the guys throwing so hard.
They throw-
now,
yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
throwing their arms out.
But you have two. You have two of the best
pitchers
pitchers in the league
Yeah,
on this
Right,
team.
right,
Really,
right,
between
right.
Well, you got two
between
Hall of
Scherzer,
Famers, really.
you
I
have two
think they're
Hall of
both Hall of
Famers
Famers.
with Scherzer
Strasburg.
and Strasburg. I mean, you really do. You have two
Not
of the
gonna
best
be able to
pitchers.
keep both of them.
No.
And after a while,
that money.
no, that
Rendon
team
may
is
be
gonna.
gone too. Scherzer's going to ask for a whole lot of money.
What are you going to deserve?
Well,
And-
he's been the Cy Young 2 years in a row, and
but
then
you
he's
know
been
what
contended.
He wants a
He's
World
been a
Series.
contender. He does, and
So
he
I think
deserves
he's
it.
gonna want
He's
it,
not going to get it with
to
the
be
Nats.
honest with you.
But the Nats, I mean, to me, they made the ultimate mistake. And I don't know what it was driven by. But when you had Dusty Baker here, you went from 95 wins to 97 wins. You didn't even want to pay that man. You were willing to pay Black, Ben Black, or whatever his name is, the manager Black. You offered him the job over Dusty, and Dusty has the pedigree. He's a Hall of Famer
Dusty had
player.
those guys
He is
together.
great. Those guys, when he walked onto the field, those guys have respect. Then what happens is you don't even treat him with respect. This guy wants another year, some more money. He brought you 95 and 97 wins, and you said no. Dusty, goodbye, because he didn't make it to the second round, which it takes some time. So you kick him to the curb. Then you hire a bench coach to come in behind a Hall of Famer player
And give him a 3-year
and manager
contract.
and slap Dusty with a 3-year contract, and you don't even make the playoffs. You should lose. You
Tell him how you
lose.
feel, Elena. Tell him how
I'm
you feel.
mad at the way they
honest.
treated Dusty. I'm sorry.
You saw how
And
he had those guys playing. A lot of them were guys that were. You talking about injuries a part of the game? Nationals had a lot of injuries, and they had guys who could come in
Even
and
Bryce.
play, and a lot of it had to
Yes.
do with the way Dusty dealt with them. There were guys that I didn't think could do it, and they were in there. When those injuries occurred, those guys actually came in and had a better winning percentage than
Yep.
when the guys who went out, like
Baseball
Bryce and
injuries
Rendon
are
and
different
those
from
guys.
basketball
They
injuries
came
too.
in
You know,
and
they
had
affect
But they
the
didn't
player.
better
treat.
winning percentage.
But they
what I'm
affect the
saying
player
is
differently
They didn't treat
for a
him
longer period of time.
with respect, and I didn't respect the fact that Bryce, to me, didn't stand up for Dusty in the
No,
end.
not Bryce
He
did
did
not.
not stand up for Dusty when
I was there the last
And
game.
that wasn't good.
In the clubhouse.
That wasn't
at the end
good.
of the game,
Reporters asked him.
and
They
Bryce
asked him.
never
They asked
stood
him
up
that
for
question
All the
about
other guys
Dusty.
stood up for him, and they
Yes.
said we don't want him to leave.
And
Bryce
Bryce-
was the only one that kept his back to it, and
he
walked
said like
away.
this. He said,
And
"Oh,
didn't-
that's
he didn't-
corporate.
he
That's a
didn't step up
corporate
for Bryce
decision,
for him.
and I don't get involved in corporate decisions."
He kept Bryce
Really?
to that fire
Yeah.
though. He probably called him out.
Yeah,
on stuff.
probably.
Yes, he
Because
did.
he called guys in one-on-one.
That's right.
But
did
he
a lot of
came.
going
But
on
he
stuff.
came through the system. Dusty came through the system when he wasn't. I mean, think about the times that Dusty was coming around.
Yeah.
Folks couldn't just play baseball.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's come around. But anyway, guys, I gotta hand over the mics. It's been such a good show. I so want to talk to these guys more. I wish I had more time, but I gotta let the shit take over these hot mics. I know I had my crew. Lawrence, thank you so much as always. I know Lawrence was kind of quiet, but that's because we had all these guys on. It's an all-star cast today. So, but anyway, Darren, Darren, we will see you and Keith as always. I'm gonna miss you guys because next month, by the way, July, we're gonna start doing. Just gonna feature some girls next month. So if you know some sports reporters, some females in sports, or even health and wellness, I'm gonna also
Absolutely.
feature. I just want to do a whole thing of women because everybody says I'm always around men. Sorry, but anyway. I happen to like men, but what can I say?
Elaine,
But
I'm
I
gonna
like
try to-
girls too. I'm a girly girl as well. So all next month I'm featuring girls. So if you know somebody who you think should be on the show, hair, makeup, all kinds of stuff. We're just gonna have a real party
get
for the
Missy
month
in
of
here.
July. So
You get Missy in.
yes, I'm
You know who I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I'm gonna have everybody on the show. So don't forget, each and every Tuesday, right here at 6 p.m. WLVS, listenvisionlive.com. The Hustle with Alina 7. I'll see you guys next time. Later. Bye.
Thanks for
Thank you,
having me.
guys.